To know where you're going, you must know where you've been. Every mile marks a moment in history. For 75 years, SHRM has led HR to drive change. We fight for women at work, shape policy and protections for all. We advocate for an inclusive workforce and endure together during unprecedented times. Because the beauty of the road is there's always something ahead. Join SHRM on our journey to drive change.
Our folks here have over 20 plus years experience. We provide two main areas: Express Requests, which is a compilation of all various topics. You can actually save a lot of time by asking one of our advisors to do some research for you, to bounce off an idea, to find out latest current employer practices.
We talk about every topic imaginable under the umbrella of human resources. Among the most popular would be the Family and Medical Leave Act, the exemption status, questions about the salary basis. The questions go on and on. We could talk about many more of them. And if you want to do that, don't forget one of the prime benefits of being a SHRM member, the HR Knowledge Center.
Hello and welcome to the third annual Better Workplaces Challenge Cup. I'm Guillermo Correa, Managing Director of SHRMLabs, SHRM's Workplace Innovation Lab and Venture Capital Arm. Thank you for joining us. As many of you know, SHRM's purpose is to elevate the HR profession, and our mission is to empower people and workplaces by advancing HR practices and maximizing human potential. To that end, we strongly believe, and I can't emphasize enough that we strongly believe that HR is best positioned to lead workplace innovation and organizational development. Everyone listening today will agree that HR needs to continue innovating in order to meet an organization's needs of tomorrow. And innovation is the key reason why SHRM launched this competition. The Better Workplaces Challenge Cup is a pitch competition to find the innovators that are solving the most critical workplace challenges. This year, the competition was open to over 200 countries around the world, with competition rounds in the US, Europe, Latin America, Middle East, Africa, and Asia Pacific. We also added a member track for SHRM members to showcase how the people who know the workplace the best, HR, are innovating. This is the fourth segment of the startup track of the competition, which will consist of 10 first rounds from which the top company will advance to the semifinals. The winner from each semifinal will advance to the finals, which will be held at the SHRM Annual Conference and Exposition. And this year, we're back in Las Vegas from June 11th through the 14th. As many of you know, this is the largest HR conference in the world, and we're hoping you can join us. Today, you will hear from 5 very exciting startups. Each company will provide a 3-minute pitch, and afterwards, they will have a 3-question and answer session with our judges. The criteria these startups will be judged on are: number 1, is this a business that will be able to grow to positively affect the lives and work of millions of employees? Number 2, is this a business that will create better workplaces where employers and employees thrive together? And then finally, number 3, is this a business that will provide value to SHRM members and their companies by helping HR professionals become more efficient and strategic? Once the pitches are completed, the judges will deliberate and choose the winner of this segment. Please note that this event qualifies for 2 PDCs towards your SHRM CP or SCP certification, and we will provide the code at the end of the event. But for now, please help me in welcoming our judges for today. First up, we have Mervyn Dinnan, HR tech author and influencer. Mervyn, thank you very much for joining us. We greatly appreciate it. Next up, we have Soumya Sen, co-founder, investor, and analyst. Soumya, thank you for joining us. And then finally, last but not least, Julie Schweber, senior HR knowledge advisor with the SHRM Knowledge Center And if there's somebody that knows HR, I know it's Julie. So welcome to the stage, judges. Let's go ahead and get started here. So please welcome our first participant, Pay Analytics.
My name is Margaret Bjarnadóttir, and I'm the co-founder of Pay Analytics. Pay equity has come a long way. It is simply no longer acceptable to pay women, minorities, or other groups lower wages because of their gender, their color of their skin, or any other characteristics. Pay Analytics makes it easy to close demographic pay gaps and to keep them closed. In fact, Pay Analytics was born when a financial institution measured an 8% gender pay gap, meaning after accounting for job roles, skills, knowledge, and performance, women could expect to be paid on average 8% lower wages compared to similar men. And after being mindful of the gender pay gap in every salary, hiring, and promotional decision for over a year, the gap was measured again, and it was still 8%. It became very clear that we do not eliminate pay gaps with good intentions alone. We need quantitative data-informed approach. Therefore, we built a cloud platform on the pillars of science and fairness principles guided by practitioners. Our platform not only measures demographic pay gaps, but identifies which employees to give raises to in order to close these gaps, all while taking into account the operational realities and the compensation strategy. And after the pay gaps have been closed, we support the integration of pay equity into compensation processes to avoid pay gaps from reappearing. And we are seeing results. For example, our initial development partner drove down their pay gap to 0% in a matter of months. Allianz, with over 100,000 employees, eliminated pay inequity across 50 subsidiaries in just months, and recently received a European HR Tech Award for the pay equity work with Pay Analytics. There are multiple drivers behind our growth, but a key driver is the fast-changing regulatory environment. But by taking our universal approach to pay equity that ensures equity across the organization, our clients are ready for any legislative change. And we make sure that any national or local requirement can be fulfilled with a couple of mouse clicks. But beyond pay equity, Pay Analytics is about quality compensation. Our solution is equipping organizations with the right tools that they need to correct pay gaps, to make good compensation decisions, and is supporting a lasting change. We have built a solution that is transforming the pay equity landscape around the globe, serving clients ranging from small organizations to Fortune 100 companies. Paying equitably should not be hard. Pay Analytics makes it easy. I look forward to your questions.
All right, excellent. Thank you very much for that presentation, Margaret, and welcome to the stage. For this round of question and answers, Mervyn, you want to go ahead and get us started?
Okay, I can do. Sorry, I've unmuted myself. Margaret, really interesting there. What parts of the world do you find this, I suppose, at the moment, more of an issue?
I think it's an issue around the world. But in terms of kind of our market entry, we have been focused mostly on Europe and North America. That said, we now have users in over 75 countries. So, I mean, I think pay equity is a universal problem. But I think one of the key market driver is the legislative change that we're seeing across the world. So the highest uptake is definitely in North America and in Europe.
Okay, has there any, from all the data, I suppose, the conversations you've had with clients, and has anything really surprised you? Is Pay Analytics able to do something you hadn't realized it could do?
Yeah, I think when we started off, our focus was really on pay equity. But where we have evolved has been focusing on quality compensation, and that has perhaps been what has been the most surprising. So not only are we closing pay gaps, but our clients are actually using our tools to make better decisions. So whether it's starting salaries or somebody's getting promoted, is even helping and supporting managers in having easier conversations with their employees. So with the upcoming pay transparency legislations, when it will fall on the managers and the HR to actually explain the pay policy is going to be a super useful tool. So, and the most extreme case is that some of our clients actually use our tool to error check their pay before paying out. So they run their data through our system every month just to make sure that their pay processing system isn't making any errors.
Next question.
Thank
over
you.
to you, Samia.
Yeah, thank you. So first of all, thank you, Margaret, for sharing that. So I think I really like, because the pay gap is a big challenge for many, many years, right? So it's good that you're focusing on this wonderful challenge. So that's for sure. And you were using the power of data analytics, which I love, because I'm coming from that background. So I just want to ask a few questions, especially the one question. So how you differentiate yourself with other analytics tools? Because, there are many tools and many solutions available, and compensations and pay is one of the major area, so how you differentiate yourself from the other, I would not say directly competitor, but rather other tool solutions available.
Yeah, I think our strength is threefold. So in my mind, so me and my original co-founder, we are actually both business school professors. So from the start, we have really focused on building this platform based on science. We also, from the very beginning, put it on the pillars of fairness, which I think is key when we think about compensation. And then as, business school profs, we are actually, our main job was to, take complex analytics and translate them for something that's consumable for the MBA audience, for example. So from the start, we also focused on how do we often take these complex analytics and translate them into something that is meaningful for the HR and comp practitioner. So that has really been a focus. And then third, I don't know if you have placed my accent, but I'm actually Icelandic, so we were born in Iceland. So I think from the beginning, our focus has always been global. So how do we make sure to solve this problem globally? So not only is our platform very flexible in that it can adapt to any legislation and any requirement, but we make sure, for example, that whether it's the UK report or the Spanish report or the new Israeli report, you can satisfy these local requirements really easily. And I think that sets us apart.
Thank you.
Next question over to you, Julie.
Okay, very interesting concept, and certainly a critical component right now in the workplace. So bravo to you for coming up with this pay analytics program. How receptive have your clients or potential clients or employers, how receptive are they to the idea? Because, obviously it's going to impact their financials and their budget. So I'm just curious how you manage that type of feedback from them.
So I think there has actually been quite a change over the past 5 years. So I think pay equity and diversity, inclusion more broadly, and equitable workplaces have become the theme. So while maybe 5 years ago it was a harder sell, we had to kind of convince the board and the C-suite of the importance of pay equity. It has become, I think it is becoming a standard. Companies have to address pay equity. And then once we measure these gaps, I think companies have to give themselves obviously a budget and a little bit of time. So you can't close everything overnight, but with a little bit of time and a budget, you can certainly do so. And how organizations are doing this mostly now is through, especially in the US, is through the merit review process. So I would say it's becoming commonplace to split up the salary increase budget into two, for merit raises and for pay equity raises, to ensure that they are paying equitably.
Okay, excellent. All right, one other question for you. You mentioned the science of it and the data points. I'm just curious, where are you getting your data? What sources are you relying on to get this type of salary information?
Right. So our solution is a cloud solution where each organization gets their own instance in a secure cloud environment. So the data comes from their internal systems. So our system is set up. You can either upload things in Excel, or it has a full API where you can set up your connection. And so organizations are working with their internal data in our cloud, and then making sure that there's internal consistency in their pay practices. So typically these data come from their comp systems and their HR systems.
So now, do you use any external salary survey data for comparison? I'm just curious.
Yeah, so we are fully equipped to, so if our clients subscribe to external benchmarking data, they can link that directly in and use it for comparison purposes here.
Got it. Okay,
Excellent. Thank you very much for that presentation, Margaret. And now while the judges write down some notes, how can attendees find out more information about Pay Analytics?
Payanalytics.com. And thank you for having me.
Thank you. Our pleasure. Thank you for being here. All right, let's bring up our second participant, Gem HR.
Hi, this is Tando. She works at a manufacturing facility for VW in South Africa. Let me put you in her shoes for a moment. Tando was paid by the hour. To work out whether she'd been paid the right amount each month, Tando currently waits in a line on the last working day of the month in order to get her payslip. This is usually a piece of paper and usually comes 2 or 3 days after being paid. If she wants to query the hours worked, she needs to wait in another line with all the other employees who are also querying their payslip. When she wants to request leave, she waits in a line on her lunch break, only to be given a piece of paper that she needs to fill in. Once that's filled in, her manager scans it to the head office and approval can take up to 10 days. And when she needs a salary advance because her child is sick or she has an emergency, she reluctantly and often embarrassingly asks her boss if she can get a salary advance on some of the money she has earned, but has to wait until payday to get. As you can hear, Tando's HR experience as a frontline employee is terrible. Tando is not alone. 80% of the world's workforce work on the front line, working in industries like manufacturing, construction, and agriculture. In fact, it makes up 2.7 billion people globally. And it's not just the employees who have a terrible experience, it's the employers as well. Employers with frontline employees are massively underserved when it comes to technology. In fact, less than 1% of all enterprise spend is spent on technology that serves frontline employees. GEM is changing that. We leverage the most powerful communication app in the world, WhatsApp, to help employers digitally connect with their frontline employees and get access to basic HR tools. We've built software that plugs into any HR and payroll system, making it easy for employers to send payslips, manage leave requests, process salary advances, and communicate with thousands of employees in just a few clicks. We're connecting Tando and her employer using WhatsApp, fundamentally changing the way HR is done in emerging markets. With an opportunity to serve over 1 billion employees across emerging markets and a user base that's growing 30% month on month, we're ready to build the ultimate HR system specifically tailored for frontline employees. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that presentation, Simon, and welcome to the stage. For this round of Q&A, Soumya, do you want to get us started?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Simon, for presenting. I think fabulous part because I can resemble the thing, like I work with like most of those big corporations, like 70% of the workforce are, as deskless, no PCs, no connections, right? Great initiative to start. I think I will ask maybe a difficult question, like especially as from the HR, we are dealing with the personal data, right? So using such personal application like WhatsApp and other is a really big challenge in terms of employer, in terms of to managing data privacy and protection. So what are your thoughts on that? Like what are your measures are taking, especially if you're talking about European employees? And it's a huge, certain GDPRs and other is a big concern, all right? How you're managing that?
Yeah, great question. Thank you. So first thing, WhatsApp is fully encrypted, right? I think there's a lot of false perceptions around WhatsApp being open to data. The second thing is you can actually put a password on your WhatsApp if you want to, just as you would have with an app and as you would have with email. And then lastly, we've created systems that enable, for example, when we distribute payslips, when an employee wants to see their payslip, they have to put in a password to get their payslip on WhatsApp. So they would either be putting in their ID or their employee number as you would on an app. So we're doing exactly what you would get on email. If someone got hold of your phone and clicked on your email, they could see the same information that you would see on WhatsApp, right? We're just meeting employees where they are, which is on WhatsApp. So great question. I think there is like a lot of false perception, but hopefully we're getting it right on the encryption side.
Thank you.
Okay. Next question over to you, Julie.
All right. What metric are you watching most closely for setting and aligning goals?
The number of connected users. So how many people we connect to their employer digitally, and then that as a percentage of a total employer's user base. So we're looking for 90% plus of an employer's user base or employee base connected digitally. At the moment, that number is, for most organizations, less than 20%.
Okay.
And next question over to you, Mervyn.
Thank you. A great presentation, Simon. The question I would ask is, what are the conversations that are happening internally in an HR team, to which Gem is the answer, but they might not know that?
Pretty simple answer. People are printing payslips, right? So they're asking, how can we digitize? How can we do things to digitize? And payslips is the answer for us, which enables them to not only distribute payslips, but payslips is the way that we can connect employers with employees, because it's a need on the employee side and it's a need on the employer side. So if you connect the both, and most people don't see the communicate. So ultimately, we're a communication platform, right? We connect the both, but we position ourselves as an HR platform because people don't recognize the need to communicate until we've digitally got their workforce connected. And we start to see that very quickly. Once we get payslips up and running, we get 90% of their workforce digitally connected. Everyone asks us the question, but can we send out messages and can we do everything else on WhatsApp? And that's the powerful part that no one sees until they've connected their workforce.
Yes, excellent. Thanks for your presentation, Simon. And while the judges write down some information or some notes, how else can attendees find out more information about GemHR?
Fantastic. gemhr.com. Thank you very much, everyone. Would really appreciate your feedback.
Thank you for being here. All right, let's bring up our third participant, Wellbees.
Hi. Welcome to the headquarters of Wellbees. This is where magic happens. This is where we touch thousands of people's lives. With a small caveat though, like we have nobody in the office today, so excuse us because we're working from home. My name is Melis. I'm the founder of Wellbees. Wellbees is an employee well-being platform triggering personal and cultural behavior change. When people are well, they're more likely to be productive, they're more likely to be engaged, less likely to leave you, less likely to look for another job. So how do we bring about that change? How do we help or support people to get the right habits, to get them on the right track, to feel much better than they're feeling today? Enter Wellbees. That's where we come in. Look at the Today tab. In Today tab, we have pulse surveys combined with AI-driven, personalized well-being journeys for your employees. Have a look at the Social tab. So if you only give people individual solutions, you're unfortunately not going to get a lot of habit change. However, if you include the culture into this through challenges, clubs, and events, you're 74% more likely to get that habit change happening. Have a look at the Well Market tab. This is where the gamification magic happens. This is the part where you walk and where you participate in challenges, where you make points, or in other words, where you make points the better you take care of yourself, and then you can spend them in this Well Market. As a next step, you can find the content. We offer here all types of well-being content, anywhere from meditations, workout at home videos, healthy recipes, and then finally we have the experts. We have psychologists, dietitians, and personal trainers that do not come as an additional cost to your employees, whom you can talk to on the app through video calls. As you can see, this is a lot to chew in, but in under one single roof, beautifully done in a UX UI, this will make your life so much easier. And we've thought of you as well. And Cue the HR dashboard. Through the HR dashboard, you will see insights unparalleled in the industry, where you can literally see which departments, which locations are doing how in terms of their well-being, and even see actions you can take to remedy that problem. With Wellbees, we're touching thousands of lives every single day. We're currently serving 50 employers in 17 countries and in 8 languages. You can here see our team. You can also see in the photo 2 of my co-founders, Seçil and Kerem, who have come with me a long way in building this little empire of goodness. Wellbees has won various awards to this date, but SHRM is the one that we're really, really looking forward to participating in and see where we stand. So fingers crossed, and hope to see you in the next round.
Excellent. Thanks for that presentation, Melly. It's a very fun one for sure. And welcome to the stage. For this round of Q&A, Julie, you want to get us started?
Sure. Wonderful presentation, Melly. Thank you for that great presentation and the data points. One question I have, we're seeing a lot of employer-provided health insurance and internal wellness programs. How does this differ? How does your particular platform differentiate from those?
Julie, the biggest problem here is that, like especially the past 2 years, we've thrown money at employees, like in the form of like benefits apps or like meditation apps or EAPs. You know, like you can name a different like variety of them. But unfortunately, when you look at the data, they're only used 3 by 4%, and therefore, none of them have that impact that we desire. So basically, what do we want? Like, why are we actually making all of that investment? Is that we can help people transition from being okay to being really well, right? Because we want people to be engaged, less likely to leave you, and simply feel better. But that's unfortunately not happening because usage is not there. So the biggest difference that Wellbees has is that in all of these employers that I just mentioned, our average usage is at 62%, and hence the impact is magnificent. It's very, very high, and it's easy for us to report that as well.
Okay, thank you.
So next question over to you, Mervin.
Thank you. Excellent presentation, Melise. Very energetic. When you're speaking to potential clients, customers, how do you turn this from, I suppose, a nice to have to a need to have?
Great question. So basically what of course, like that's a huge question, Mervin. We used to have that question all the time before COVID happened. And these days, what we're seeing is the following. So EAPs are already a budget line item in HR's budgets anyways, right? Like 97% of all enterprise clients are using one form or another type of EAP already, employee assistance program. So what we're doing is we're approaching it from that angle. You already have this budget in place, but nobody's really using them because like the average EAP usage is at 1 to 3%. Why not switch to something that's 20 times more use, which is going to give you 20 times more the money, 20 times the ROI that you're investing into this. So that's the argument that we're making to turn this into a must-have because it's already there, right, Mervin? So that's the door we're opening and entering the companies from.
Okay.
And last question over to you, Samia.
Yeah, thank you. So, Melissa, wonderful presentation. I really like it for sure. So, I have a very simple question. Maybe you can ask, maybe you can answer. So, I'm talking from the employee experience perspective. Let's say from organizations, right, who have like many HR applications and everything running. Like most of the organizations is trying to have one holistic experience for employee, right? So, I see like your well-being is another app, right? So, how are you going to integrate your well-being into the corresponding employee experience platform for the other organizations?
We already have over 100 different integrations in place, all the way from an SHRM platform with SSOs, all the way to communication apps. So we totally believe that work should happen in the flow of work, and like well-being should happen in the flow of work as well, which is why we've integrated Wellbees with pretty much all of the major platforms out there that companies are using today.
Okay, so when the one point to clarify, like when you say integrate, also like the data points from well-being can be also utilized from their analytics team, right?
To some extent, yes. Since we're collecting, some of the data that we're collecting is health related, we can't open that up to third parties, but most of the data that we collect in an aggregate basis can be shared with other platforms. And yes, we have dashboards, especially in enterprise clients, where Wellbees is a huge element, a huge add-on to all of the additional data that they collect and make decisions with.
Thank you, Melissa.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Melissa, for that presentation. And while the judges write down some notes, how can attendees or our audience find out more about Wellbees?
Simple, wellbees.co. That's where they can find us.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. All right, let's bring up our fourth participant, WeBoard.
Hi, I'm Martin, the co-founder of WeBoard. I've been in the corporate education business for almost 10 years now, and over the years I've discovered one interesting thing. Corporate training really sucks, right? At the same time, training costs are skyrocketing, and companies spend billions of dollars every year on corporate training, but it doesn't truly help the company's bottom line. Why is that? The global standard in online corporate training is e-learning, right? But it's not very engaging, and employees are just passive observers, which leads to lack of attention, and all that results in a low performance of employees. But there is a way to do it better. WeBoard increases employees' learning motivation and develops their skills with a truly immersive personal experience. WeBoard is based on the learning pyramid, which says that if we only read or watch something, we remember only like 20% of the information. But if we can try something ourselves in practice, information retention increases to 75%. Now let me introduce Ayla. Ayla stands for an AI learning assistant, and thanks to our conversational AI technology, you can have an actual conversation with her, thus driving employees to be active in training. So, how does it work? We create realistic simulations of real work situations so employees can experience and practice them in advance. Therefore, they're more confident and have better business results. So, who is using our products? McDonald's in the Czech Republic and Slovakia, for example. We were able to fulfill all their training KPIs 30% faster and $1 million cheaper. And we're already deepening our relationship with McDonald's. We're planning to launch a pilot project in the USA and Canada this year. But the typical use case for WeBoard is mainly training of frontline workers in sectors such as banking, telecommunication, or retail in general. The biggest advantages are that we are not dependent on location or time, and our virtual trainers can train literally unlimited numbers of employees at the same time and to the same quality. WeBoard currently has 12 paying customers, and we operate in the Czech Republic and Slovakia. Our revenue last year was about $200,000, but we aim to have a $1 million revenue in 2023. In the last 2 years, only 2 direct competing solutions have been created all around the world. In general, however, any e-learning platform can be considered as our indirect competitors too. We closed the $400K pre-seed round in June. Now we're asking for $2 million, which we want to use to scale our US operations and further develop our platform. WeBoard is the result of a decade of experience that Radim and I had from our previous jobs. The rest of the development team has a similar level of experience. We are looking for partners and investors that will join us on our journey and change the way our employees are trained. Thank you.
All right, thanks for that presentation, Martin, and welcome to the stage. For this round, Mervyn, would you like to get us started on the Q&A?
Thank you. Excellent presentation, Martin.
Thank you.
When you're speaking to clients about WeBoard, what are the kind of, I suppose, conversations they're having? So what's happening in the HR department? What are they noticing to which you're the answer, but they may not know?
I believe that they really see the great advantage of this solution in how we can really drive employees to be active in training, because it really supports information retention, which is crucial, in order for employees to perform their jobs better. So they really understand the difference between the traditional learning tools that are limited in this respect.
Okay.
Excellent. Next question over to you, Soumya.
Yep. So fantastic presentation, Martin. I really like it. So I have a question. Like you mentioned, like you have a different learning pyramids, learning by doing, right? So that's the point. So how you measure that? Like if the employees are learning in your new technique and scientific methods, how you're measuring is different from the other learning. How you can compare?
Yeah, it's a very good question. It's also kind of a tricky question because sometimes it's really hard to measure like improvement of skills development. Yeah, but we have incorporated some quizzes that will help us in time to validate that information has been retained by employees, and the key thing of how our platform works is that it's not okay like to do the training simulation just one time. Yeah, we encourage employees for repetitive training courses, to keep developing their skills, because it's like in real time, with the personal experience, it's not enough that you will try it just once and you need to like repeat it for many times. So that's how we trying to increase the retention and also somehow calculate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Julie, last question over to you.
Very good. How are you measuring the retention of the training? And that was a wonderful presentation, by the way, Martin.
Thank you, Judy. There is behavior analytics and all kinds of analytics on the back end of this solution, and so we evaluate each individual completion of the training in time and compare it with in time. So our goal is to maintain the level of information retention at the same level as it was like after the first training, and to potentially increase it.
Okay, thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Martin, for your presentation and for being here. While the judges write down some notes, how can the audience find out more about WeBoard?
Just visit weboard.me.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much. All right, let's bring up our fifth and final participant, Inuka Coaching.
Imagine if all your employees are in high-performing flow, coming and leaving work energetically, constructively working together and quickly adapting to all the changes that are happening faster every day. That is the future Inuka, a B Corp certified social enterprise, works towards. Together, everyone resilient. Why is this important? Because simply most of us aren't resilient. 60% experience chronic stress, only 50% self-identifies as resilient, and 75% of under 30s left their job due to mental health. And resilience is crucial to ensure high performance amidst rapid change. Change has never been as fast, and it will never be this slow again. So how to get all your employees resilient? By first offering everyone coaching, not just the top management. And then, this is our secret sauce. Based on the coaching, Inuka is able to identify for you the root causes of stress, so you can design effective HR policies, which together builds a resilient business. Our coaching is industry leading for quality. All coaches are trained on an ICF certified training with high ratings, and proudly, a scientifically proven method that works whether you're struggling or want to achieve your goals. And we offer the coaching in more than 12 languages, so people can speak in comfort of their mother tongue. And here's the golden data you get effortlessly. A benchmark of your organization and different departments, the impact of Inuka on the organization, the top 5 root causes of stress, and a business case for investing in your people, all without doing a single survey. Only for €50 per employees per year, you can get all the employees a personal coach they can work with for challenges they face both personally and at work, and the deep data-driven insights you need for effective people strategies. Now I hear you thinking, how can you deliver such high-quality coaching against such low rates? And that is where our Inuka innovation comes in. Because we are B Corp and socially driven, we attract highly motivated people who don't need top rates. Those we train on a scientifically proven method, which ensures only 4 sessions are typically needed for a real and lasting change in mindset and behavior. Inuka empowers people to solve their own problems. And with technology, we ensure consistent quality efficiently. This way, we truly make top quality coaching accessible for everyone. And the combination of price, quality, and effortless deep data insights has led to Inuka being a must-have for our customers, which are mostly large multinationals, with high uptake rates of Inuka scan and coaching. And we make this possible with a true dream team, consisting of myself, a former global HR strategy director, a successful entrepreneur with 2 exits, and a renowned psychiatrist and professor in London. So together, let's elevate HR to show with solid data that caring deeply for your people makes perfect business sense. Thank you.
All right, thanks for your presentation, Robin, and welcome to the stage. For this round, Soumya, do you want to get us started?
Yeah, absolutely. So very nice presentation, Robin. So a very simple question, like how you get the buy-ins to employees on this coaching?
Yeah, very good one. It's very simple because we actually play it always via the management layer. So as part of the rollout, all the managers are involved in the rollout and sort of part of the rollout in the organization. So for managers, this is basically the place to go where they refer people to, that they sort of feel there's something going on, but do they need a training? Do they need like a psychologist? Do they need like a different job or a different role description? And for them, the Inuka is the place to roll out to refer to. So it's mostly via management, but of course all the other routes as well that are normal. So we have monthly content that we share, that HR shares, that employees knows about. But also we have every month vitality workshops from experts, master classes that a lot of employees attend. So that way we really keep people engaged.
Thank you.
Julie, next question over to you.
Okay, great presentation, Robin. Thank you so much. Question for you. You mentioned the coaching. Is it available for not only work-related stress that we have, but personal matters as well? And
Yes.
how do you ensure that employees feel confident sharing some pretty sensitive, I imagine, or very confidential information that's not going to get all over the organization?
Yes. I think about half of the coaching conversations that we have are about personal matters. So that sort of gives you an idea of how that works. And that's because more or less employers see, right, how it's so much interrelated. What's happening at home affects you at work and vice versa. So that's nowadays pretty much a no-brainer. But how we make people trust that they can share with us is very important. We're ISO certified, so people know that we have very strict data policy. We're beyond GDPR compliant. And what's really we notice works best, actually, in the feedback that we get, is that we're a B Corp certified social enterprise. People know we're doing it to make an impact. So they know that we're not in this for any other reason than really making a difference. And that seems to be building a lot of trust. So that's why we also see these very high uptakes in the organizations we work with.
Thank you.
Excellent. And last question over to you, Mervyn.
Thank you. Excellent presentation, Robin. I can see why something like this would be of great interest to organisations, particularly at the moment. How do you convert someone, or how can I phrase it? It might be seen as a nice to have. So how do you convert that to a need to have?
Yeah, you see that there's no other way that companies can get this data. Basically, because people share really in depth the kind of stuff that's going on, and because we have this proven method and standardized quality system, it's very easy for us to extract the key themes that are coming out. So companies nowadays, everybody offers some sort of well-being thing, but they don't know what's the outcome of it. They don't know what's the return on investment. They don't know what's the effect. And with us, they not only get the outcome, because we always do pre and post measurements. This is built in the coaching programs. But also we give them the deep data insights of like what's actually the root causes, what's not going well in the different departments of the organizations, and which departments need most attention. And that's the kind of data that there's, you can put that surveys, but we all know the survey fatigue. People don't fill in that the ones that need to fill it in, they don't fill it in, etc. So that's really what we noticed, that we're really an urgent to have. I actually interviewed one of our customers the other day. She's like, we started with you guys because of COVID, and we wanted to just give some extra support. It was a nice to have, but we stay with you because we just noticed it really empowers our employees to be more problem solving, have more problem solving skills, and really be capable in embracing change. So instead of like being like, oh no, not another change, not another thing, people are like, okay, let's do this together. So it really builds the skills to be, build a culture to be embracing change rather than being resistant on all levels.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Robin, for your presentation. And while the judges write down some notes, how can attendees find out more about Inuka coaching?
www.inukacoaching.com.
Okay, nice and simple. Thank you very much. All right. And believe it or not, that actually completes the round of pitches for our European segment. So a big hand of applause to our competitors today. So the judges are now going to deliberate on the pitches that you just saw. Judges, I'll see you in the separate Zoom meeting in a second. While the judges deliberate, we hope you enjoy some great information we have to share with you. We're going to be back shortly with a decision in about 10 minutes or so. So please hang tight. Okay, we'll see you in a little bit.
Throughout history, the world's hardest challenges have inspired the most innovative solutions. Remote work, skill shortages, a growing mental health crisis, and the impact of the Great Resignation were just a few of the challenges disrupting the workplace and driving new heights of innovation. That's why in 2021, SHRMLabs introduced the Better Workplaces Challenge Cup to find and elevate the next generations of workplace technology and innovations that will help drive progress and make our world a better place. In 2022, our competition went bigger than ever before. We went global, featuring over 150 workplace solutions from all around the world. Through 10 initial pitch segments across North America, Europe, Latin America, the Middle East, Africa, and Asia Pacific, panels of expert judges chose 4 finalists to proceed to the finals pitch event at SHRM's 2022 annual conference, the world's largest gathering of HR leaders and executives. There, the final 4 startups pitched their innovations live in front of tens of hundreds of SHRM members and a panel of celebrity judges. One winner was crowned the Better Workplaces Challenge Cup champion and rewarded with a $50,000 cash prize. By bringing together the best and brightest minds in the field, this competition, powered by SHRM, is helping to pave the way for a brighter, more sustainable future for work. Visit us at betterworkplaceschallengecup.com to learn more.
Our folks here have over 20 plus years experience. We provide 2 main areas: Express Requests, which is a compilation of all various topics. You can actually save a lot of time by asking one of our advisors to do some research for you, to bounce off an idea, to find out latest current employer practices.
We talk about every topic imaginable under the umbrella of human resources. Among the most popular would be the Family and Medical Leave Act, the exemption status, questions about the salary basis. The questions go on and on. We could talk about many more of them. And if you want to do that, don't forget one of the prime benefits of being a SHRM member, the HR Knowledge Center.
To know where you're going, you must know where you've been. Every mile marks a moment in history. For 75 years, SHRM has led HR to drive change. We fight for women at work, shape policy and protections for all. We advocate for an inclusive workforce and endure together during unprecedented times. Because the beauty of the road is there's always something ahead. Join SHRM on our journey to drive change.
Our folks here have over 20 plus years experience. We provide two main areas: Express Requests, which is a compilation of all various topics. You can actually save a lot of time by asking one of our advisors to do some research for you, to bounce off an idea, to find out latest current employer practices.
We talk about every topic imaginable under the umbrella of human resources. Among the most popular would be the Family and Medical Leave Act, the exemption status, questions about the salary basis. The questions go on and on. We could talk about many more of them. And if you want to do that, don't forget one of the prime benefits of being a SHRM member, the HR Knowledge Center.
To know where you're going, you must know where you've been. Every mile marks a moment in history. For 75 years, SHRM has led HR to drive change. We fight for women at work, shape policy and protections for all. We advocate for an inclusive workforce and endure together during unprecedented times. Because the beauty of the road is there's always something ahead. Join SHRM on our journey to drive change.
Throughout history, the world's hardest challenges have inspired the most innovative solutions. Remote work, skill shortages, a growing mental health crisis, and the impact of the Great Resignation were just a few of the challenges disrupting the workplace and driving new heights of innovation. That's why in 2021, SHRMLabs introduced the Better Workplaces Challenge Cup to find and elevate the next generations of workplace technology and innovations that will help drive progress and make our world a better place. In 2022, our competition went bigger than ever before. We went global, featuring over 150 workplace solutions from all around the world. Through 10 initial pitch segments across North America, Europe, Latin America, the Middle East, Africa, and Asia Pacific, panels of expert judges chose 4 finalists to proceed to the finals pitch event at SHRM's 2022 annual conference, the world's largest gathering of HR leaders and executives. There, the final 4 startups pitched their innovations live in front of tens of hundreds of SHRM members and a panel of celebrity judges. One winner was crowned the Better Workplaces Challenge Cup champion and rewarded with a $50,000 cash prize. By bringing together the best and brightest minds in the field, this competition powered by SHRM is helping to pave the way for a brighter, more sustainable future for work. Visit us at betterworkplaceschallengecup.com to learn more.
To know where you're going, you must know where you've been. Every mile marks a moment in history. For 75 years, SHRM has led HR to drive change. We fight for women at work, shape policy and protections for all. We advocate for an inclusive workforce and endure together during unprecedented times. Because the beauty of the road is there's always something ahead. Join SHRM on our journey to drive change.
All right, excellent. We are all back. Thank you very much, judges, for the deliberation. Greatly appreciated. Once again, a big hand of applause to these companies that competed today. As mentioned at the beginning, one of these companies will be moving forward and will compete in the semifinals of the 2023 Better Workplaces Challenge Cup. So let's get right to it. The winner of this segment is Inuka Coaching. So major congratulations, Inuka Coaching, and we look forward to your participation in the semifinals. Judges, any words you'd like to say to our winners? Mervin, starting off with you first. Oh, I think you're on mute, by the way.
They were all excellent presentations. I think we've just said how difficult it is to choose. But I think congratulations to Inuka Coaching.
Okay, Sumya.
Yeah, at the same time, same part, everyone was really good. We really enjoyed, great deal of presentation, great focus, a lot of values you all are adding. And I'm sure, winner is just one, but I think you all can succeed in the future as we move forward. But congratulations, Inuka Coaching.
Fantastic. And last words over to you, Julie.
A very, very difficult decision. Tough choices here. So again, don't give up. But congratulations to Inuka.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much. Thank you, judges and participants. And for you out there, thank you for attending. Please note that this event qualifies, as we said at the beginning, for 2 PDCs towards your SHRM CP or SCP certification. The code to use for that is 23-PGAUY, and we're going to be displaying that in a second. Next up is going to be our 5th first round segment, which is going to be held on Tuesday, March 21st. We hope you can join us. As already mentioned, the top company from each first round will move to the semifinals, and the winner of the 2 semifinals will move to the finals at the SHRM Annual Conference and Exposition, June 11th through the 14th in Las Vegas. Please visit betterworkplaceschallengecup.com to stay informed and register to attend our future events. We hope you can join us. Have a great day, everyone. See you soon.